My name is Austin, and this is Dungeons and Dracon Beams, Megamorphs 3. Zach. Groffin sits with you as you eat your fish. You see that he's set up a circle of rocks and like a bed of sand in the corner of this room while you've been eating.
Okay.
You may rest here for the night. You will be safe. The creatures do not venture into the valley, and if they do, there are security measures to ensure the village's safety.
What kind of security measures?
Mostly just shield barriers. The dinosaurs cannot pass them.
Okay, but like, I was able to. So, how does that work?
Well, we don't always keep them up, only when we notice the dinosaurs coming forward. The smaller ones, the ones that come from the air, were usually too big for them to feed unless the massive one comes around, and then we just get inside the buildings. Or put the barrier up.
Okay, got it. So, do you guys have these shields? Do you have any kind of surveillance?
Unfortunately, no. The area around our area, yes, but we do not venture out much if we can help it.
I got you. Okay. Yeah, I've got like some friends that hopefully are also here. I mean, I guess I might be here by myself. I was outside the building at the time, so
There's another building? Is it of the Nesk?
No, it's of the human variety. It's also, I think, about 65 million years from now is when it gets built, so I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay.
I guess what I'm saying, like, I might have some friends here that like are kind of like me, like they're very similar to me, and if they are here, like, I'm kind of worried about them because I haven't seen them. If they're not here, then it's cool, but I would like to go home. I gotta figure out how to do that.
If we can assist you get off the planet, we will do that. Or I can also assist you in helping you find your friends.
You guys do, hold on. You have spaceflight?
We have one ship left.
You're in this building, but he like gestures back towards where the waterfall was.
Is it faster than light?
It is not faster than light, no.
Near relativistic?
Not at all. Not close.
Okay, well.
We travel through space through manipulating the Z-space.
Okay. I don't know enough about Z-space. I've heard about it. My buddy Max talks about it sometimes. But, you know what? Forget about it. It's cool. Thank you for the fish. I am going to take you up on a nap, I think. You know what? No, I'm good. I'd rather like look for my friends if I can. Is that, if I try to leave as a big dinosaur, is that going to be a problem?
No. You may leave. We will not keep you here. However, the nighttime, a lot of the predators come out.
Yeah, no, I'm going to fly. I have a flying type one. I need like the air anyway, so I can kind of see what's going on. You said the big one? There's a big flying one, and like that's the... Nothing else messes with that air-wise?
No.
Okay. Yeah, that's going to be the go-to, I think, for sure.
Unless you find another one of those, and then they will stay away from each other's territory.
Okay, yeah, I got that. That's cool. Thank you for that. That's very helpful.
Yes.
I just, like, all of my other flying morphs are, like, really small. And I kind of feel like they're just prey. So
Yes.
I feel like I got to be something big. Does that make sense, you know?
It makes perfect sense. If I could get bigger, I would too.
Facts. It's very helpful.
I, just I would feel amiss if I did not warn you at least a little bit. The nighttime is dangerous because of the creatures, because of the predators. But also...
He's turning Russian?
Yes, but because of the Nesk. They do not like new creatures on the planet. They have been trying to destroy us since they've discovered it.
Okay, yeah, so you've talked about them before. Tell me more about the Nesk. Are they like little slug dudes?
A slug? What is a slug?
Zach tries to... Are there like fish innards anywhere?
Mm-hmm.
He like points at that.
Oh, no.
Kind of like that, but they got really little fins and like little antennas.
No.
Actually, I could just show you one, but I won't right now.
The Nesk are more... They are a collective, made up of other tiny species that all communicate together through their brains. They have legs each a piece, and they travel together in mounds. And they scavenge and take everything that they want. We try to live in peace with them.
Okay. How big are they?
One is...
And he kind of takes his claw and like gets smaller.
One is not very big at all. Together, their size is proportionate to how many of them come together into the mound.
Okay, so they do like a Voltron thing. Like they kind of all... They stack on each other, kind of like...
Yes, they do that.
Okay. Weird. I'll deal with that when I get to it, I guess.
If you would like, if you can wait till the morning, I would go out with you. It can be as early as possible.
I'm just worried about my buddies. If they're here. Okay. Alright, yeah. We'll wait till morning.
He kind of like looks to the sky, and you've been here a little while.
If I have about 4 hours of rest, I would be ready to go with you, and I can help you.
Okay, so the Mercora have elf rules. Got it. They only trance for 4 hours. Cool. I need like 8, so that's cool.
Can take as much time as you would like.
Might as well have another fish then, and then I guess I'll hit the hay.
Yes.
Actually, do you have any hay or like leaves? The sand is nice, but it's kind of hard.
Yes.
It's probably great for you guys, but like, and he like pokes the skin. He's like soft.
Ah, I see. Yes, I will get you something.
Runs off, comes back with the fish. Yeah. Scuttles back in. As he does that and goes out, you see like 2 smaller ones kind of come to the door and kind of look in at you and just kind of cock their heads. And then they scurry back out of there. And then he comes back in. You got your fish. He makes you a bed of leaves now.
Yeah, I arrange the leaves a little bit. I guess I get comfortable. I eat another fish, and I go to sleep.
You do fall asleep pretty quickly because you're kind of tired. About 6 hours later, you wake up. You have a full rest. You're still kind of tired and groggy, but you see that there's just like the peak of light kind of shining in from the very distance. It's still very much like dark out, but there's peaks.
Okay. If I feel fully rested, I'll go ahead and sit up and stretch and I don't know, walk behind the shack and pee, I guess, and grab a handful of like blueberries or whatever. Just fucking eat those. They don't have any like processed flour or anything, do they?
They don't.
I was gonna make pancakes.
They look like, from what you know of what Zach knows of animals, they probably don't eat anything like that.
Okay. Yeah, Zach will, I guess, go get Graffin. Graffin.
Graffin? Yeah, either one works.
It is interchangeable in our language.
Oh, all right. Weird.
You see now he has like this strap around his big claw, and it has like these little devices just on it.
I am ready whenever you are.
What's on the, what you got there?
Oh, these are deployable shields, just in case we run into any trouble.
Cool. Okay. I'll tell you what is the jungle around here is pretty thick, right?
Yes, some parts.
Okay. let's get away from your village. And when we have like some space, I'll morph that big thing. But I don't want to do it in here, so I might fuck some shit up.
Yes. By the big thing, you are talking about the sky predator.
Yeah.
Okay, I will not be able to keep up with you while you're in the air, but I will still assist you as much as I can from the ground. But yes, this is an acceptable plan.
So I should be smaller, is what you're saying. That's cool.
No, I am saying that if you are going to the air,
no. Could I carry him like that? As that big thing?
Judging by how big it was versus how big this Garrifin is, yeah, you think you could?
Okay, so two options. Either I can morph something that's like better on the ground, but can still move pretty good, especially through trees, or I could pick you up as that big thing and fly around.
These little eyes that he has just go wide.
The tiny eyes go. Meh.
I have never been in the air outside of a ship. It sounds exhilarating.
That's not a no. All right, yeah. That's my man. All right.
Also,
Let's do
it
it.
seems that you would have the better chance of finding your friends from the sky.
Yeah, no, that's exactly my thinking.
Yes.
Like for sure. So, yeah, let's do it then. Let's get out of here and
Yes, let's scuttle.
I don't scuttle. I run.
It's just a phrase. That is what we
Okay.
call it. Well, you know,
you scuttle, I'll run.
get to scuttling.
Yeah. You got it. So we scoot.
Yeah, you guys get a little ways out. There's a few like compies that kind of come up towards you, but you see like Garrifin flare these little things that are on his claw, and they just run back.
If we're close to the village, I'm gonna see if we can like bring some food. Do they have satchels or anything?
Yes. I will get you some food for the road.
And he runs back, grabs berries, another fish. You see him run into the house. A few seconds later, he comes back out and the fish is smoking and he puts it in the bag.
Cool. So do any of the compies look like Colonel Sanders?
The ones that he scared away, you didn't recognize any of them.
Okay. All right. And I'm just taking it at face value that I would totally recognize Colonel Sanders if I saw him. Let's get away from the village, and I'm gonna look for like a smallish clearing, and then I'm gonna be like, all right, probably best if you hide until I tell you to come out.
Okay, I will do that.
This will be my first time doing this guy, and like anytime it's the first time, we don't always have control right away. So,
okay.
Yeah. So like, just give it a second. But I'll let you know when it's cool, okay?
Yes.
And you see him scurry behind a rock.
While I'm turning into it, I'm going to be a little bit vulnerable, so like, just kind of be on the lookout for me, cool?
Yes, I will protect you.
And he raises his claw up.
Sick, my man. All right. Yeah, I'm going to walk out in the middle of the clearing, and I'm going to start morphing. It's morphin' time. Really wants it to look cool for Graffin, because he likes him, and he thinks that, like, he just wants to impress him. He definitely fucking, like, does, like, a pose or some shit. Like, ready? And then, definitely, like, the first thing that happens is the face starts to just stretch. It's all very human still, though. The eyeballs stay in the skull, but the skin part just starts to push away, and, like, the skull is starting to elongate. So his eyes just, like, sink into his eye holes. So, Neckalodian. That shit just is shooting out, like, just, bleh, like, gross. While the face thing is happening. The arms and, like, legs are, like, getting little, like, thin and weak. Like, Zach definitely falls over. Eventually, though, it does start to, like, look proper and, like, correct. Then he's done. He stands up. He is a terror bird.
At the very end, you see, like, any compies that were, like, noticing this, as soon as, like, you're finished, they're all nowhere to be found. You notice Graffin kind of peeking out, and you want to eat him. Oh, that looks good.
Mm-hmm. Delicious.
Yeah, it looks like it comes from the ocean.
That is a crab rangoon right there.
Yep. And you go to move forward, and you see him just cower and hold his little claw up. What brings Zach back?
I think he went into it with like, I really can't make such a bad impression. I can't eat this guy. He's so cool. He's been very chill. He's given me so much food. Like, I don't need to fuck this up. And also, I really, really, really gotta find Van and Dylan and Max and anyone, if they're here. I gotta find everybody. So I think he probably started the morph with that like presence of mind, and I think hopefully it just kind of carried through. Yeah, that's what came out the other side. Yeah, he sees it and goes, ooh, snack. No, friend.
Crabs are friend, not food.
At least this one.
He's still holding his claw up above his eyes and not just waiting for his demise.
As soon as Zach has control again, he's gonna be like, Graffin, it's cool, man. Sorry. I know I came at you a little bit, but we're good.
I was quite frightened, and now I am relieved to see that you have control of your body, of this creature.
Yeah. Me too.
So, shall I just scuttle on up you, or?
Yeah, probably better. Can you, like, grip pretty good with your feet?
Not really.
I could put you in my beak. I won't crunch.
No, I must help a friend in need. If that is the way, I will do it.
And he just stands there waiting. All right. I'm going to like try to very carefully position behind him, and I'm going to scoop so that he's facing forward. Tight, but not crunch.
So with him helping you, it's easy enough to get him in there and everything. But to take off, roll a strength check.
Okay.
With this extra weight and not being like used to how to fly, you're probably a little bit like leery to tap into the brain of it because it's so easy for it to take control. Yeah. You jump and flap, try to catch a thermal like you would as any other kind of bird, and you just
like a bird.
Yeah, you just.
Bro, let me like get a practice lap in. I'll be right back, okay? And like I'm gonna put him down. I'm gonna just try to fly. Like I probably should have, tried to walk before I ran, kind of thing. So I'm just gonna try to actually fly, make sure I can actually do it, and then I'll come back for him.
Without him, you take a couple and you just and you climb up, and as you kind of break the canopy, roll me a perception check.
Perception.
Holy shit.
Holy fucking shit. Yeah, I see everything. I see the timeline and how to get back home.
As you like climb into the air, you notice the sun like starting to peak up. You do notice like the light from the sun. You don't see the actual sun yet. You do see the very tail end of that bright light, and you see like the tail of it shooting across the sky still, and the tail looks a little bit longer than what you saw last time. You also notice like this mountain that you've kind of been hanging around and that you've been near. At the top, as you kind of fly up, you notice it's got a big crater in the top of it, and it's a volcano.
Okay, is it smoking?
Yes, a white smoke.
Oh, new pope. They got a new pope in the volcano. While I'm flying up, do I see any signs of man-made anything? Fire, tracks through the forest, I don't know, anything. A hut, a shelter, a lean-to?
Yeah. In the distance, far, far away, you flew a few hours to get to like the space that you were in. And you see like not where you started from, but maybe halfway, you see one trail of smoke going into the air. And it's like hard to see within like the rising sun sky, like it's still kind of dark out. You also see more of those titanosaurs kind of moving now. They've moved to a different spot from where they were, and there's like a herd of them just chewing on trees and stuff.
I'm into it. All right, I'm going to circle. God, do I have to land? Can I just scoop?
You want to try it?
I'd love to try it. I'm going to like warn him. I'm going to let him know like, hey bro, I'm going to try to just do a flyby swoop. and just nab you without like landing, because I think it might be easier than trying to take off again.
Oh, okay.
Are you cool with that?
Yes, I will be ready.
It's athletics, and it's with advantage because he's readying it for you.
Womp. Oh, there's a 15. I don't know. Maybe that's good.
You swoop down, and with the 15 and him like setting himself up just right, you scoop down, he jumps up, you open your mouth, and you got him, and you do see you chomp down a little bit harder than you meant to, but then loosen your
I don't
bite
hurt
on
him though.
No, he go, oh,
That was a little tight.
Sorry. I'm still kind of getting used to it. Great news. On my test thing, I did see fire.
Oh.
Like, probably a campfire. So we're going to check that out, because it might be them.
Yes.
If they're here, they would have likely made a fire. So, like, let's go check that out.
It is magnificent up here.
Oh yeah, it is. Isn't it? It's so good. Like, do you want to go higher?
You can go. Yes, please take me higher.
I'll go as high as...
Can you take?
I will fucking fly up as high as I possibly can for this guy. I want him to see the Earth's curvature.
Oh, yes, definitely a sphere, just like when I saw when our people arrived here. Some of the Makora think that some of the planet is flat. The ones that were born here and haven't seen it from the space, idiots. They do not believe the
Want me to kill
minds.
him, or...
No,
we would be no better than the Nesk if we just eliminated them for being stupid.
Well, okay. Anyway, yeah, so we're gonna way up high. And then I'm just gonna start like a slow, gentle glide down towards that campfire. I mean, we probably have enough height.
I mean, it's still far away. Like, you'll have to, like, you know.
It's not, I'm not gonna make it
yeah.
and when go, but I'll just start heading that way.
You fly for a little while, and you're getting closer. It's maybe an hour away. You need a demorph before you get there.
Oh, I'm gonna have to? Okay. In that case, I'll, whatever. Honestly, maybe a little bit into the flight, I might ask, like, do your people have like an innate timekeeping ability or anything?
no, I can somewhat track it by the position of the sun, but it is just rising now.
Yeah, okay. It's just if I'm like this for more than a couple hours, I'm like this forever, so.
Oh,
Yeah, not ideal, right?
well, I mean, could be worse.
It's dope, but not that good. How close are the Titanosaurs?
I mean, you could probably fly another 30 minutes to get to where they are.
After a demorph.
Yeah.
Okay, could this big guy land on the back of one of those Titanosaurs without a problem?
Without a problem, probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah, he's pretty big. They could probably hold him, but
They wouldn't like it. All right, I'll find a clearing and land and demorph. I'm gonna, check it out, make sure it's safe. I don't want to land in a Tyrannosaurus Rex nest or some
there's
shit.
eggs by you, and then the mom and the dad come.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're good. Demorph, remorph, even picking back up, fine.
Okay, yeah. I just carry on then. I'm just gonna keep heading towards where I think the smoke was. I mean, is it still there when I take off again?
As you look, I'll say you keep your crit, you see it still, you know where it's at. Also with your crit, as you kind of get back up and start flying towards it, you fly for another 45 minutes.
Now, especially now that we're getting closer, I am trying to make sure that I know if there are any very large predators in the area or anything else weird happening. Like, I don't know what a Nesk is, but if I see a Nesk or something that might be a Nesk, if I see a big fucking Voltron somewhere, I'm going to make sure I mark its location so I can tell people at the camp where it is.
The brush that's over the campsite, still you can't see much in there yet, but as you're kind of flying over where you are, you notice a figure in one of the trees below you jump to another tree.
What does it look like?
You just see like a blur jump from one tree to another.
Is there color to the blur?
Brownish, greenish.
Brownish, greenish. Okay. Serpentine at all?
From what you saw, it kind of blended in with the trees a little bit too much. You couldn't tell.
I'm going to risk a thought speech call down there. Hey, anybody down there hear this?
Roll a perception check.
So 15.
You do see another one of those blurs like catch the corner of your eye, and then all movement in those trees around that stops, but you don't get an answer. And it was a different blur than the one you had saw before.
Okay, so there were some greenish brown things jumping through the trees. This was right around the campfire?
No. This was where you are, like underneath where you are right now. You can't really see into the campfire.
On the way to it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to ask Graffin if he could see it and could maybe tell me what he thinks it might be.
Unfortunately,
He kind of like tries to peek around the beak.
can't see much from up here.
I'll turn sideways.
Maybe if you get a little bit lower.
Yeah, I can bank and circle. I'm not going to land or anything, but like I'll get 100 feet lower or whatever.
If we see something, we should not land.
Oh yeah, for sure. Can I try again too now that we're lower?
Yep, and I'll give you advantage on it as he's like helping you look.
14.
Now that you're a little bit lower, you don't see what the blurs are, whether it be from either camouflage, they're too fast and they're already gone, or you're just at the wrong angle or whatever. You don't see anything in the trees. But with that 14, you do notice on the ground peeking out, there's a human head that jumps back behind a tree. Blonde hair that was falling in front of its face kind of moves back behind the tree.
Okay. I just saw the head. I didn't see any like clothes or like.
Just her head was kind of popped out and she pulls it back in.
Does the hair look clean?
Looks like it. So
fucking ragged.
Yeah, it was like messy, like fell down in front of her face.
Okay, but that could describe like an emo intentional thing.
And she had like a dirt mark on her cheek as well.
Like this is fucked up hair. Someone's not washed this hair.
No, it looks like it has been washed plenty and just hasn't been washed the last day or so. Yes.
Got you. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
As she pulled her head back, you saw it was like up in like a messy bun that used to be like maybe a clean bun, but it's like just came untangled.
Okay. Is this no one we recognize?
You do not recognize her.
I'm gonna mark that location and then kind of mentally, and then really I'm powering towards the campsite at this point.
As like your bank happens and you turn and you kind of climb back up, you get another look at her. She's just kind of standing behind the tree and like trying to cower and hide, and she watches you as you fly. You notice her. She has a blue blouse on, a navy blue skirt that kind of goes to her knees, and she's barefoot.
All right. Is this Little House on the Prairie style clothing, or like she got it at Old Navy?
Looks like she got it at like Target in the business casual section.
Biz cash. Got it. Okay. All right. Yeah, we're going to carry on then. Yep. Just going to head for the campsite. Any further thought speak, I'm going to try to either Graffin, or it's going to be like just targeted to like other humanimals.
You fly a little bit closer to this smoke that's rising up, and the first thing you see are Dionicus. You've seen these before. They're the ones that stand close to like your shoulder-ish height, and they have the feathers. And you see those moving in out of a tree line into a clearing. We'll say that's from like the west. This campsite sits in the middle of these trees, and then to the east of the campsite is a cliff. There's like a clearing plains area where you saw those Titanosaur move from that area to another one. So they came from this area and walked over there. To the south, it looks like there's more Dionicus kind of closing in on this campsite. And then to the north, there's a stream that runs, and moving slowly towards the campsite, you see a bipedal scaled creature with feathers that kind of shoot off its back. It's got the same head as like a Tyrannosaurus would, same little arms, but on its head you see these two horns kind of curve up into the air, and it's moving towards the campsite too. And as you get a kind of a closer look, you see two Andalites, Matea and Aximili, have half the distance between where these Dionyscus are kind of moving in and where this other creature, this other dinosaur is coming in. Behind them, where the campsite is, now that you can see in, you see a bulking Savannah with armor plating kind of coming down her back and a big tail shooting out with a club on the end. Ankylosaurus, you know it, you've seen it. And behind her, you see Kamren and Dylan both starting to come out of a morph. It looks like they were maybe 1/10 into a morph of a bird as they come back into human. And as you see them being surrounded, Dylan and Savannah. The two of you dance under the night sky. And as the other three watch you,
we dance.
After a while, you see Kamren look over to Aximili and look to Matea, grab both their hands and kind of pull them towards. You guys are almost waltzing, dancing arm in arm, and he just starts doing different TikTok dances. And Aximili kind of nods along, and you see him start to move his arms in one of these Fortnite back and forth dance things. I don't know what it's called. He emotes. But Matea looks at them both, and you all hear as she open thought speaks. Is this a ritual humans do before death?
Dylan's gonna kind of laugh and be like, I guess you could say that.
I guess in this instance, we're kind of doing it because of death.
Yeah, and sometimes we just do it till we die. And keeps doing different ones. Now he switched to the shoot. I think that's what it's called.
The what?
Shoot. It's an emote on Fortnite.
What is that?
It's an emote on Fortnite.
Okay, but you have to describe it to me because I don't play Fortnite.
So he kicks one of his feet back and forth, and one of his arms is yeah, that's it.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, okay, I know that one.
Aximili tries that too. Kamren is good at it, and you guys can see that. But Aximili, he does all right. He does all right. He doesn't get the feet quite right because he's got an extra one that he has to move back and forth, but he makes it work a little bit. I just assumed that it was because we were in a dangerous place. I thought it could be a ritual you do before resting, but then I had not seen any of you do it before.
How much of this do we have to explain to them?
As much as we want, I guess. But Matea, it's a ritual for fun. It makes life feel like it's a little bit more worth living.
Like being with friends. You see her little Andalite smile. You guys can roll perception checks real quick if you want.
Well, yeah.
Just as you all are talking still, you just notice at the corner of your eye, the sun is set, but this comet is still in the air, the giant ball of light. But it has a tail now that is trailing off of it. And it's if it had one before, it's a nice amount longer now. That's it.
I think at that and Matea's comment beforehand about being around friends, I think Savannah's going to kind of slow down and stop the two of them and then be like, yeah, we should probably try to get some rest and then be looking for Zach.
Good plan.
She's still, though, even as she's slowing and stopping them down, she's still because she was leading them, has one arm around Dylan's waist still. And she just kind of lets go of her hand, but leaves it there for a bit while she's talking to her.
Kamren and Aximili just for a little bit longer dancing. You even see Matea look at him and see you all starting to unwind from each other a little bit, but still as you finish the steps. And she starts to move her head a little bit and her shoulders. Yeah, it is okay. And then as everybody kind of stops and this conversation starts, Kamren will say, so
watch duties, fearless leader?
I believe that Aximili and I volunteered to go first.
All right.
He sits down like near one of these trees that's kind of near the fire and puts his back up against it, leans his head back, closes his eyes.
Savannah's just gonna like gesture, like, Kamren, shelter, shelter, Kamren. Not say anything, just gesture to the thing that we built, and then to Kamren, and then to the thing that we built, and then to Kamren, and then shrug and be like, put her hands up, like.
He opens an eye.
Dylan is going to squeeze Savannah's arm and be like, hey, wake me up for next watch. And then walk over to Kamren and smack him in the back of the head and say, come on, idiot.
I thought you guys might just made your own house and I missed out, but
He stands up.
Oh, she gives him a death glare.
Savannah just looks confused. Like, what does that mean?
what?
He looks back at you and gives you a confused look back.
Made our own house.
Gestures to the shelter.
Oh, Dylan's whole entire like neck, chest, face, blood red. And she's gonna grab Kamren by the wrist and just start pulling him along. Get in here.
All right. Ducks in. Smiles at you.
What the fuck, dude?
What?
Shut up.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was all good now. And he kind of elbows you.
Oh, I'm gonna kill you so dead.
Look, but really though.
I'm gonna kill you so dead.
No, well, hey, I've seen a lot lately.
Go to bed.
Oh, all right. He leans back, puts his head down. He's a little bit tall in here, so he like cranks his neck a little.
Congratulations.
She's like smooshing up a big pile of moss that she has brought in here to be a pillow, and she's like pushing it around. She's like, thanks.
Matea, she gets like towards the back of wherever your all structure is that you made, and she like folds her front legs and her back legs and then kind of like sits down on those. I don't know how Andalites sleep. And then her upper half just flops. I don't know. She gets comfortable how Andalites get comfy. And as they sleep, Aximili is kind of like pacing around the fire.
Savannah is going to turn to Aximili and say, you can keep track of time now, correct?
Correct. This planet is spinning a little bit faster than normal, but I was able to catch back up.
Does triple checking. And then she's going to start morphing. So she begins to shrink towards the ground. And then in an awful, awful manner, her entire chest kind of explodes forward into this giant white bone that is just barely covered by skin. And then as that's coming out and her eyes are growing massively like Gollum-like in her skull and her ears start migrating upwards and downwards, then with a pff, all the feathers start to grow out of her skin and pop up, and she gets her ear tufts, and she's turned into a great horned owl.
Aximili looks at you as you finish your morph. He just kind of nods.
She's just gonna flutter up onto the top of the structure at first to kind of look around and see if there's anything around the perimeter, and then she'll probably do a few flybys to see what's going on.
Yeah, as you get up there, roll me a perception check.
I will roll you a perception check. I don't know, you just keep saying it with this like intensity. It's a 19.
A 19.
I rolled a 19 for my perception check.
You see over this vast night sky that most of the flying creatures aren't out right now, but those huge titanosaurs that you saw seem to be traveling in the valley that's kind of right off your all's cliff, eating some of the trees around, and they're just kind of grazing there. Immediately around you, you see some of those compies, but they're keeping their distance from Aximili, for one, and the fire. It seems like they're not getting closer to the fire.
She's also listening out for anything that's out of place, like similarly to how she was before, any like human speech, modern day animals, anything like that, like anything that seems weirdly out of place. And then of course, like, you know, large predators and that kind of thing.
You notice that there are some like ants crawling around in different places. There's black ones, there's red ones, and they do seem like a little bit bigger. Brown ones, all the colors that you would see in your time, they are here. They're just a little bit bigger.
How does that make me feel historically?
Roll a history check with advantage.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Oh, it's the same.
Pretty good. Yeah, ants existed. As a matter of fact, you have seen a post lately where they found a full ant, like it was a big ant encased in amber eating its prey in your time.
I'll accept it. I'll accept your answer for what it is.
Predators. You do see Dionicus, you know which one. You see velociraptors from Jurassic Park with feathers. Dionicus, right?
Yeah, Deinonychus.
Deinonychus. You see Deinonychus. They're far away from you guys, but they're hunting in packs, different packs. And I'll say with that, you don't catch anything else around you.
She's just going to continue throughout the night. Like she'll just every once in a while start doing like flybys and then like land back on, you know, if there's like a tree that's kind of above the campsite or just on top of the little like shelter that they've created. And then every once in a while she'll just go fly back out and do a big loop.
Nearing the end of your watch, as you land, Aximili says,
Before we turn over watch, I would just like to thank you for giving me the honor of avenging my brother.
Yeah, of course. It's something you should have had earlier.
It really reinforces my choice to make you my prince. Even though you took it away initially, you made sure to keep your promise to get it back. And that's what matters.
No, your brother was important to all of us.
Yes. I'm sure he would be just as impressed with your skills as I am, Prince Savannah. If he were here, he would stick by your side as you show the Yeerk Empire why they should fear you.
I don't know about that, but hopefully we help out in some way.
I believe we are a bigger thorn in their side than they are letting on. We have dealt them heavy blows.
Well, hopefully that carries on even if we don't make it back.
Yes. I've been thinking a little bit more about the Sario Rip that Matea mentioned. In theory, if an explosion of a great magnitude got us here and created the rip, we would need to close it. And to do that, we would need a similar explosion in magnitude.
But Matea said there wasn't anything here that could create something like that, right?
Not unless we want to start mining materials to make tools, to mix chemicals and create fusions. We have nothing else to do.
We have nothing else to do.
You see him gaze back up.
It is too bad.
He looks towards the comet.
Just going to look at him like, what? And then like she's still in her owl morph, so like her head just kind of tilts like, oh.
You see one of the stalk eyes is like peeking at you. Like he was waiting for you to like ask a little bit more, and as he sees you kind of turn your head.
That asteroid, that comet is big enough that if it were to hit, to create a massive explosion. However, it will not hit.
Go on.
It will come as close as 2 of the Earth's diameters to the planet, but it will miss.
Like the type of explosion that's big enough to create a gulf, to just divide continents, change the entire atmosphere of the planet.
Correct. And wipe out anything that is on the surface in the immediate area.
So through time travel, is this one of those time travels where things happen in our past that are informed by what we do here?
He kind of looks at you with his main eyes now and lets his stalk eyes kind of wander.
That kind of time travel would create a paradox. And that is why I believe that it is not that type.
So if I told you that, like, a few million, well, more than a few million years ago, a giant meteor, like, crashed into the Earth and, like, ended the time of the dinosaurs and started a new era and sent the Earth into, like, a massive new ecological shift, like, that would just be, like, coincidence, maybe?
If you told me that, it would further prove my point that this is not the same universe. Because that asteroid is not on trajectory to hit the Earth.
Yet?
I do not foresee it changing. I do not see another asteroid that could hit it. It seems that it will pass by within 3 days.
Okay. Not that then.
But I guess to further answer your question, my reasoning, my theory, it would say yes, what we do here will affect our future selves, but only in the way that we are our future selves, and anything that we do affects it.
That's reassuring.
I do not believe it would affect the timeline in which we originated from.
Well, that is reassuring. I'd hate to squish a butterfly here and have massive gills when I get back or something.
He kind of side eyes you, and you see. So sometimes Kamren has this little side smile that he does. Aximili tries to do this with his eyes, and I think he just kind of winks a little bit. And he says, with Andalite morphing technology, you could have gills anytime that you want.
True enough. I didn't mean it that way, but I appreciate that that is factual.
You see him kind of staying chest up to the sky as you guys finish your watch.
And Savannah will demorph. I think that in my mind they were doing like longer shifts than 2 hours, so I'm imagining she demorphed at some point and then remorphed, but she's gonna demorph now. Gonna hang out beside Aximili for a second and then be like, all right, who are waking up next, Dylan and Kamren or Maitea?
He looks at you again with the like Andalite smile with his eyes.
I believe that is up to our prince.
And you see him like hold back like a bigger smile with his eyes.
Why are you looking at me like that?
You are the prince.
But you're okay. Maitea then. At least then we'll have a tail blade on hand.
Good choice. A tailblade is always handy.
I'm learning that. And she'll go into the hut and like I'm assuming Maitea's by the back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she has to get past the other two to get. So yeah, she'll just walk in. She'll gently like just kind of touch Dylan's arm and just not shake her violently, but just kind of gently touch her arm and like wake up kind of maneuver.
And Dylan will roll over and be like, hey.
Hello? Would you like to take watch?
5 more minutes.
Fair enough.
Mirror. And she just grabs her and like pulls her down.
She like tried to stand like she was gonna go move over to wake up Maitea. When you grab her and pull her down, she fully will like, when somebody is fully unprepared for an action to take place, just like hit down next to you and be like, oh, okay.
We still in dinosaur time.
We are still in dinosaur time.
Okay. I don't have 5 minutes, huh?
You can take 5 minutes. I don't think anything will change in the next 5 minutes.
That's a fair point. I wish we had coffee here.
It is just occurring to me that we will not have coffee here.
Well, I've ruined your first morning of dinosaur day time. I'm really sleepy.
Yeah, but to be fair to you, you didn't ruin my first morning. I haven't gone to sleep yet, so.
Oh, that's fair. Okay, go to sleep so I can ruin your first morning. And she starts to sit up.
Savannah just kind of like chuckles, and then she's like, well, I have to get Maitea up too.
I'll get her.
Okay. And then she'll, where Dylan has vacated the moss, she'll see that Dylan has piled it up there and be like, can I steal your spot?
Please do. And she'll just look back and be like, night.
Night.
And then she walked toward Maitea.
You see her, and like as you start to get close, you see like one of her stalk eyes just open up.
That was creepy, my dude.
And the other one's, and then her eyes open, and she starts to like stand up. I am sorry.
Did you sleep at all?
Yes. I'm a light sleeper.
Yeah, I get that. You ready to watch?
Yes.
She stands up.
Seems they let us rest for 4 hours, 6 minutes, and 37 seconds of your time before. After this time?
Okay, that's your time too, because you were there as well. But let's just, yeah, I guess we'll give them as much, that same amount. Yep, we'll just do that.
Sounds good to me.
She starts to pace. You didn't see this, Dylan, but it is very similar to how Aximili paced, but she just goes the opposite way.
Sweet. Dylan is going to, she's like stretching and walking at the same time.
Before you start to morph, as you're stretching and you kind of move towards where the cliff is, and you like do a big stretch, you see the head of the Titanosaur from before raise back up and kind of look at you for a second.
Oh yeah, she's just like fully like stopped mid-stretch, just like, oh my God.
Opens its mouth really wide and shoots forward right past you to that same bush that you pulled those ferns off of and wrapped up. It just bites the whole bush and pulls it out of the ground and chews it.
She's just like, she's watching in rapture and she's like, yeah, that one's good, huh? And I think she's gonna like reach her hand out really slowly toward it.
Yeah, its mouth is just moving in a circle. Doesn't move, doesn't feel threatened.
And she's just gonna like closer and closer and reach out until she's like petting it. She gonna get it.
You feel your fingers start to tingle, and its eyes that were just kind of like staring around, occasionally glancing at you, seem to turn and just look at you and focus for a second. And then its eyes actually droop a little bit, and it stops chewing for just a second. And then as you feel the DNA recorded into your body, its eyes, life come back to it, and it sees again, and it just and sneezes, and this liquid just covers your body.
She's sitting there like, ugh. God bless you.
It kind of ducks its head down. And
That was the coolest thing that's ever happened to me.
Matea is wide-eyed from like behind a tree looking at you.
That's so gross. And so cool.
Yes. It reminded me of the first time I saw a Jubba Jubba monster.
Oh man. But like this guy is nice.
Yes. Still very dangerous.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that part. You're right. Oh God.
Are you okay? Do you need to go to the stream?
No, I'll just Ugh. And she starts like sloughing it off of her. Ugh. Ugh. God. All right. No, yeah, this is disgusting. I'll go later, but for now. Ugh. And she stretches again and she like starts morphing. You know, as she's stretching, her limbs start to get a little bit longer and a little bit longer. And then her legs go a little bit longer, but not too long. And then her neck starts to stretch up. And her skin starts to turn green as she does it. And she starts, as she's reaching up, she grabs onto a branch. And as she does, you see the spike just come out of her elbow. And she swings herself up as she becomes Hork-Bajir.
You see Matea's eyes smile, a bright Andalite smile.
It is funny that you morphed that because some of these trees remind me of some of the smaller ones from the Hork-Bajir homeworld.
Yeah, they do kind of look like that. It just feels right here.
And seeing you up there just looks right as well. It reminds me of then.
I hope in a good way.
Yes, I mean, in a sad way as well, but both of those feelings come at the same time when I think of my friends.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Aximili will find a way for us to make it back.
I'm sure he will.
Well, if he doesn't, maybe we can make something that can warn people in the future.
Hey, that's a good idea. I didn't even think about that. Like a time capsule.
I do not know if we can make anything travel through time. If we could do that, then we should just do it and get back to the time that we need to.
I can see, I can see where that was confusing. You're right. So in mostly my dad's time, people loved burying things in the ground for them to then go back later and dig up. And it had like memorabilia from their lifetime.
That is, now that you say that, I am reminded that humans do like to do that. You all even, well, not you. Of course I didn't smell your scent on the buried object.
What?
Yes, I did smell Zach's, Savannah's, 2 different Kamren. It's odd. There was an object that was... You don't know about it?
No.
Oh, there is an object in the wolf's den. It's buried in the back. Some round metallic object. It has all of their scents on it, and one that I can't quite trace.
Dude, 2 Kamrens. That is a nightmare.
Yes. He is tough to be around sometimes.
He is, but he's a good dude.
I can see that as well. I will never tell him that, though.
You see like a side eye smile.
Our secret.
Roll perception checks as you like are having this conversation and kind of looking around. She'll give you advantage. 19. You see that herd of the Titanosaurs kind of moving now. They're moving on from where they are. Going to another part of the forest that has lush trees so they can all feed on over there. You all talked for a little while, and then like this is kind of you guys patrolling, so a little bit more time has passed. You notice these little compies these little green dinosaurs they come a little bit closer, but they don't get like within 100 feet really. But you do see them kind of checking everything out, but they seem to be staying away from the fire and Matea because she looks pretty deadly.
Yeah. If I see them like testing the perimeter, every now and then I'll go and like snap some branches and throw them into the fire just to keep it a little bit larger.
As one gets kind of a little bit braver and moves in and you throw a stick in and it crackles it and just scurries away. During your watch, you do see these Dionychus. You see these things. One of the packs does kind of come close and notice. They notice you up in the tree, and then they see Matea, and they do slowly start to back away. They get away from your immediate area, but they seem to be hunting in the same woods that you're in. And they're the closest pack, and you kind of keep an eye on them for a little while. This is like halfway through your watch.
I definitely want to keep my eye out for anything that looks like it doesn't belong.
After about another hour, I'll say with a 19, and you're up in these trees. The Hork-Bajir mind kind of notices the bark, and it hasn't really seen it before, but it recognized that it's as like bark that it wants to eat. And as you're like focusing in on that a little bit, you notice that there's a slash and part of bark that is kind of like ripped off of one of these trees. A slash as in a Hork-Bajir blade made this.
And it definitely wasn't me.
Definitely wasn't you.
Okay. So Dylan's gonna kind of like go around and look for these, see if there are any more slashes in the vicinity, but stay pretty close.
Roll me an investigation check as you look around.
Okay.
Yeah, you jump to another tree and you find like a few more from like this blade is for stripping the bark. This blade is making big chunks, and you kind of see both of those have happened. Even there's a bite taken out of one of these trees from a Hork-Bajir beak.
Sweet. I'm going to make my way back down toward Matea, and as I get there, I'm just going to kind of like swing in and stop right at her. Be like, I think I either have a bead on Zach or we've got company.
Her eyes go a little bit wider. She like looks up, looks around with her stalk eyes. Okay, should we follow it? Should we wake the others? Should we wait?
I think let them rest a little bit longer, and then we follow.
Okay. Other than those small little reptilian creatures, nothing has came too close to the campsite. And I'll say, yeah, as you guys kind of wait a little bit longer, if you want to roll another perception check towards the end of your watch. And of course, you've like demorphed and remorphed if you've had to or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. And while I'm down there on the ground area, I'm looking for small-ish blue flowers.
Roll me an investigation check.
Okay.
You find these blue flowers. They are near one of the bases of the tree that you were just up. And as you kind of look in, if you want to describe what these flowers look like as you see them.
They grow in sort of a little mound, and they grow like on pretty straight little stems with a bunch of thin leaves coming off of every side of the stem. And on the very top, there's this little flower that has 4 or 5 petals, and it's very light, like periwinkle blue on the outside and then white in the center. And I'm going to reach down and grab the whole mound of it and try and pull it up.
Easy enough. You grab the mound and pull it up. And as you do, you notice it's a footprint. You obviously see this, but it's in the shape of, front of it is kind of like a triangle, and then the back rounds, and then there's about a 2-inch gap where it's just like a 2-centimeter circular hole. Dylan would know this. It looks like the print of a shoe, maybe like something like a stiletto or a high heel.
Okay, we definitely have. She's quiet thought speak. We definitely have Someone's here. Someone's here.
Matea lowers her body, raises her tail up, and her stalk eyes are searching. Are we in danger?
Well, they're in pointy shoes, so
Weapons.
questionable. No. Like the kind that women wear for fashion.
Okay, so
So not very good at walking around in this type of mud and gook.
that is strange.
Yeah.
What does it mean? We are not alone?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't bring heels.
I did not bring heels either.
Totally wouldn't have thought you would.
I brought hooves.
Nice.
And this has like been just a little bit longer. They probably have 40 minutes left to sleep.
Okay. So Dylan is gonna like knock the dirt off of this mound of flowers that she has pulled up and see how much root bowl that she pulled up with it, and start stripping the dirt and everything off of it, and try and sniff it and see if it's what she's looking for.
I think it is. I think it is what you're looking for. What's it smell like?
It definitely smells kind of earthy, a little bit bitter. Pretty good.
Matea like leans forward as she sees you smell it, and you see her slits in her face flare.
What is this?
It's not coffee, but it has caffeine. And she's gonna like start slicing it up and try and like figure out how she can make a bowl to boil some of this stuff. Some of this prehistoric chicory root. She's just gonna like take her wrist blade and just start slicing it into little chunks.
Yeah, you slice these up as thin as you want. You don't cut no fingers or nothing.
Wouldn't care if it did.
Yeah, you get it all ready. Matea kind of keeps pacing back and forth, watching out.
Let's see. We have a bunch of thick leaves, right? All right, I'm gonna try and make like a little pot out of thick leaves.
All right, roll me a survival roll. As you like finish wrapping up these thick leaves, and you got sticks in here and some, I don't know how you did it, but you got some like mud to like harden very fast to where you could get a nice bottom. And Matea looks and she
How
says,
did you craft that in this?
I don't know, man. Our high school has so many weird classes.
The chances of you being able to get this in this time period like this is astronomical. So low I couldn't give you a real statistic.
Yeah, so thanks for like that vote of confidence in my abilities. That's great. I appreciate that. It's super good. I love it.
Yeah, well, not, whoa, I see how that came off. You have done it in spite of the challenges set in front of you. It's a
that sounded
testament.
so much better. You're right.
It is a testament to your skill, not that you could do it in the conditions.
It's all good. Okay, I'm going to get some water. All right.
all right, you swing over with your coffee pot to this nearby stream. You start to fill it up. Roll me a perception check.
Yeah, right. I mean, I can't get sneak attacked, so there's that.
That's true. Yeah, you fill up your water. Start to head back.
Okay. Yeah.
What do you do when you get back?
I put the awesome new prehistoric coffee pot that I made over the fire and fill it with my little roots and start brewing. The roots that I had left like on the edge of the fire, by the way, so that they would get a little bit charred. Have that good flavor.
Smoky roots.
Mm-hmm.
You concoct your brew and it smells good.
Yeah, as that is bubbling away, like once it starts smelling right, that's when she's gonna go in and start waking up Kamren and Savannah. She's gonna go over to Savannah and try and do the same thing that Savannah did and just like lightly tap her on the arm, but it doesn't look as nice or anything. She's just like pep, pep, pep.
Savannah is fully like fetal position, crouched on her side, covering like the side of her head. I'm imagining because Kamren is snoring so loudly that she's like, she's fully like tried to like cover her ears. So when you do that, like she gets up pretty quickly. She's like, so loud. He's so loud.
He really is. I don't. It's something going on in here that like cannot be fixed by morphing, and I don't know what it is.
It's awful.
It is, but I have several surprises for you.
Okay, and she like, there. You just see this mix across her face of like apprehension, and then like maybe like it's a good surprise. So like kind of like, oh well, and then like suspicion, and then like, all right, and she'll get up and be like, okay, let's go.
Sweet. And then as they're walking out, Dylan's gonna kick Kamren in the bottom of the foot. Come on.
Where?
Outside.
Is my watch? Fine. And
No,
he sits
you
up.
slept the whole night.
No, I'll do my watch. You guys can sleep.
Okay, come do your watch.
All right.
He like puts his hand, like gets up on all fours and goes to get up, but then slips, falls back down, pushes himself back up.
Okay. All right. How do you want this? Let's see. I'll give you the least good news first. There's a stiletto here.
I do not understand what that means.
I don't either.
I think perhaps I don't understand it one step further back than you don't understand it. Like,
I get it.
Do you?
Okay, he's got it.
Everything that we have is still here. It just got covered up by all the stuff that came forward in time. So obviously,
okay, all right.
some
So
things-
anyway, I found a stiletto print in the dirt.
Like a shoe print.
Correct.
That's interesting.
I thought so. Maybe a little bit less bad, but also possibly bad, but maybe a little bit less bad. Signs of a Hork-Bajir in the trees.
Yes, that could be mixed news for sure.
And I don't know how this turned out, but it has caffeine, and she goes down and reaches for the pot and holds it up.
That sounds like great news.
Yeah.
It smells so good.
You slept all night.
What? How? I do sleep very good. When I was younger, I had a sleep study done on me because I snore so much, and the doctor said there's nothing wrong. I just am deep in sleep.
I think that maybe you don't have all the information there. Yeah, anyway, here, do you want some first? Not you, Kamren.
Oh.
You made it. You should have first.
Ooh, that's fair. It might be gross.
Oh, no, that's not why. It's because you made it, so you should.
Oh, I don't
have
care about
first
that.
dibs. Kamren, what word did you think stiletto was? What word did you think that? What were you trying to go for there?
That it's just from our time, and of course it's here. The other stuff came and covered it up.
And what word did you think meant that?
What? That the stiletto is here?
Mm-hmm.
Or that
He still thinks we're in our time. He still doesn't think we're in dinosaur time. He thinks the dinosaurs came to our time. He still thinks that.
Got it. Okay.
Yeerk fuckery.
Anyway, and Dylan holds this pot and like takes a big sip.
Any good?
I don't know, Austin, is it any good?
Yeah, you made a good enough coffee pot to at least, it's not the best coffee you ever had. It's pretty good. It's pretty good for where you are.
Yeah, she pulls it away from her mouth and her eyebrows raise, and then she goes, tip, 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 tip. You know what? It ain't bad. And she offers it over to Savannah.
Yeah, she'll grab it and take a sip, and then just like holding the warm leaf coffee pot, just be like, it's the best coffee I've ever had.
Dylan just has a goofy smile.
She'll go like she's gonna offer it to Kamren and then think again and hand it back to Dylan.
I'll try some later.
No, Kamren, you can have some. Dylan takes another big sip and like comes away with a big chunk of chicory in her teeth and just like, here.
He like takes the mug, and as he drinks it, he like looks over the brim at Savannah. And, like you can see that he's smiling as he drinks it.
Yeah, it's chunky.
That's how I like my coffee.
Oh, gross. Well, I guess if it's boba.
Boba's pretty good.
Boba is really good. Oh, I bet we could find some tubers to make like little starchy. You know what? I don't plan to be here long. Let's not do that.
As you see, the Andalites are kind of walking together and just kind of surveying as you guys drink this coffee. They both like stop and look in the distance towards the stream. And after a couple of seconds, you see their tail blades kind of go up and they look back. Your all's fire is right here. They're in front of where you guys are. The cliff is kind of behind you. And they just turn and start moving quickly back towards you all.
There is a creature coming. Two-legged, huge, sharp teeth.
How tall?
35 feet.
We better get out of here.
I do not think there is time.
Like you see they're both kind of converging, and the first voice was Matea, the second is now Aximili. And he says,
there is a group of these smaller ones, these Dionysus, are converging from the other way. We are being cornered by two different species.
Oh man, they used our trick. God, these things are smart.
Savannah's already bulking up next to Dylan as she starts to morph. They're using our trick of throwing us off the cliff, you mean?
I mean, yeah, that and using two different types of animals against each other.
Ah, yes, that too.
let's see him take down a fucking polar bear. And you see like his eyebrows
Kamren,
scrunch.
they will absolutely take down a polar
They
bear.
will 100% take down a polar bear.
I'm trying something, guys. And he concentrates.
What if you tried morphing something that could get out of here?
And you see like his chin just grows like a little bit of white fur. He stops and he says, "Oh, we're retreating." And he
Yeah, so anyway, and Dylan starts to shrink, and she's going hummingbird.
As you start to shrink, you see that as Matea and Aximili are like moving closer towards you, you see the first of the Dionysus appear out of the tree line. And then another. And they like see you starting to morph, Dylan, and they look back. They see Kamren standing there, and they see Savannah standing there. And they both look at each other with their stalk eyes. And about 50 feet from you, they both kind of skid to a stop and turn.
We are not fighting a dinosaur.
Savannah is already like into morph. She started morphing a little bit ago.
And so as you're growing, what you want to describe what Dylan sees, Dylan Kamren see as Dylan's morphing as well?
Yeah, when they start like morphing, or at least when Kamren starts morphing and starts getting smaller and Dylan starts getting smaller, Savannah steps in front of him because she's just getting bigger and bigger. And you see like her spine kind of like ridge up a little bit, and then it actually keeps going into like an armor plating that kind of grows with her mass as she goes. And then the base of her spine kind of swoops out into a big long tail that's growing the two Ankylosaurus hammer weapon doodads. She's just getting bigger and bigger. She's kind of like stepping, falling onto all fours, clumping forwards, just trying to give them clearance behind her to keep morphing.
Kamren, as he sees you getting bigger and he's getting smaller, he turns to like Dylan, and like you see his face is confused, and like as he goes to talk, you see his beak just shoot out of his mouth,
What are we doing? We're leaving them?
You're getting airborne because you don't have anything big enough to fight yet unless you're hiding something.
Oh no. I don't have a fighter. But I got something big.